Already. I'm here with some real scholars tonight. I got my sisters on here. They're ready to deliver a message to the world. I want all you listeners to pay attention. I want y'all to get it and take it and run with it. I got my sister right here, Charese. Give us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Charese Jones, but you can just call me Mojo because I comes with a flow. That's it.
Already. You already heard what we said, and we're going to get with that too. Go ahead, my sister. Dear, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so my name is Diatiye Yohaness. Well, I just wanted to start off by saying, like my better half said on the other live earlier tonight, I don't know everything, but we are here to have this conversation, this sister circle, because there is messages that need to get across, and some things are not going to be sugar coated because this is not the time to do that. We are in a very different age, and we are going to give it to you as honestly as possible. So,
Okay, what's up? Pass it over to my sister Kenta. You know, I already know she's the healer, and she's back. She's back.
Kenta the healer.
So I would usually introduce myself as the Empress, but today I'm going to introduce myself as Kente, and I'll explain why. I was introducing myself as the Empress, but I was honestly sitting in some princess ass energy. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Already. There you had it. So, what we want to do now is break off into exactly what we was communicating about, dealing with your sisters. You know what I'm saying? Actually delivering a message that's purified.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Giving the understanding to the world.
Right.
We're not just talking to men we're talking about the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Children and all. And I want you to start it off, sister, with giving us a little understanding about the reason why you call it the circle.
Okay. Well, my inspiration for Sister Circle, honestly, it came from one of my favorite artists, reggae artist, Janine. She was speaking in a song about the molestation of her nephew by a colonizer coming to Jamaica to educate their children. And she was throwing out solutions. She said homeschooling, agriculture, and sister circles were things that they were doing in Jamaica to combat the imperialists that were coming in to basically colonize their children and to cast a spell of confusion amongst them. So us today, a lot of people know the term of Babylon, and Babylon really is just confusion. And that's where I see my people in right now, especially in these times, especially what's going on today. We're divided. I mean, when the nation, when these people that created a problem are asking us to partake in their solution, what they're doing by asking us to pick between two different solutions that they want to provide. But we know for ourselves as Black people that these are not our solutions. Us participating in that is only going to perpetuate our separation as a people. And my goal tonight was to start a conversation that any Black person on this earth could take home today and start somewhere.
Okay.
We need to start somewhere.
That's what's up, sister. And I like that. Sister, you want to add on, Cherie? I know you want to say you're a heavy puncher. You were punching heavy over there. It's time to punch right now.
Part on the part of you said the story about the Janine and talking about molestation and solutions as far as homeschooling and taking the child away from the situation.
Yeah.
That's where we fail at because that's what we need to unlearn and relearn. That's what we need to teach our children about their bodies.
Yeah.
Why are we afraid of sexual beings? Not sex.
Right.
But being sexual beings. You know, I teach my son that your body is private property, not public.
Right.
People gotta ask, can they hug you? Even my mother.
Absolutely.
It ain't no come hug me, I'm finna leave, or give your cousin or your TT a hug. It's hey Elijah.
Right. Because you never know.
Can I have a hug or a kiss before you leave?
Yeah.
people don't ask permission.
Right.
We allow this entitlement over our bodies or ourselves or our minds. And we can't separate what's whole. So we take ourselves out of the situation instead of dealing with it, because when you're a problem, you're the solution. It's different sides, but it's the same coin. We got to stop trying to separate the issues, because there's no right or wrong. There's only cause and effect. And that cycle of molestation probably continued within that family. Right. May Allah forbid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you don't educate your child, you dumb them down. They become ignorant to knowing self, so they look for themselves in other people.
Right.
Okay. Do anybody want to add anything to that? But I got my sister over here. Come on, Kenta. Come on out now. You been sitting over there cooling. It's your time.
To feed off of what both of them, both of what they said. I mean, I'm here honestly to be the student today. I'm usually here to drop gems or be the healer or be the teacher. But what I realized was that I had to hold myself accountable. And that just didn't mean for this one day. That means every single day.
That's right.
Something that stuck with me is that I'm learning myself every single day. With the people that's around me, honestly, because I am drawing those people towards me. So that comes with me relearning who I really am every single day. So I'm here to be the student. I'm here to learn, because I found myself being caught up in the illusion. And being caught up in illusion definitely taught me lessons. Let's be clear. Lessons about myself that I didn't come here. Yeah, I came here to enjoy the human experience, but I came here for a greater purpose, a higher purpose. And I know that. I remember where I came from, which was being the girl who set up an altar to grow and heal. And it was the same girl who was nodding off at the altar, who was addicted to pills, to the girl who now put down pills, have not touched it in almost 9 months. So I know where I came from and where I'm at now. And so I always have to remind myself of that, so that I won't get caught up in this her illusion. Continue to enjoy the human experience, but I came here for a way higher purpose, everything that's okay. Everything that comes to me come from my ancestors, straight from my ancestors. So again, I have to continue to learn who I am every day from the people around me. So I look forward to the sister circle, not just us having a conversation here in front of everybody, but us also connecting with each other after this, exchanging numbers to continue the sister circle. Building. So I don't know. I look forward to picking up some gems. I'm always trying to drop them. I may drop a few, you know what I'm saying, through my healing experience, but I'm here to really pick up gems tonight. So.
Hey, that's what's up. And okay, we're finna get you too, brother. But I wanna add on to what that sister was saying. And I want everyone to know that it's okay to be a student. Everybody have to be a student to become. It's okay. Not saying be a follower. A follower is different from a student.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No one knows everything.
Right.
But if you seek and participate with all your energy as a student, the door will open because you knock, the door will open.
Right.
If you ask from someone or something that's greater than you and I, it will deliver. So whatever you cannot understand, it will give you the understanding. I promise you that.
And before we answer the question, I just wanted to add on to what Jay was saying about how it's okay to be a student. In order to be a teacher, you have to be a student.
That's right.
It's just like in order to be a parent, you have to know how to be a child, because you have to know how to relate. You have to know how to make someone understand something that they don't know. And you may not even understand it to the utmost point for yourself, but they're asking you and they're here. The teacher appeared and you have to teach, and you have to come at it as a student, and you have to learn from example. You just have to learn from experience, and you just have to relate. So that's what we're doing here tonight. We are students in this experience as well. But we also can be teachers just by that experience alone.
And that's come from seeking. And we're finna get you, brother. And I want everybody to get a round of applause for just saying it's okay. See, to be a student, because we have to learn to be a student. Let's give a round of applause, because it's okay to be a student in order to learn. Go ahead, my brother.
All right, so like it's actually crazy that you said what you said, because I was about to like piggyback off of my sister-in-law, what my goddess said.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
In the mix too, though. I was finna take it back to like when I first became a parent with my first son.
Okay.
And like I was one of those like super careful parents. I went to the parenting classes and all that stuff. And something that I heard a lot of times from people, a lot of different people, like all races and walks of life, is like, how do I have this conversation with my kid about this, and how do I have this conversation with my kid about that?
Right.
It's something that like I've been a proponent of since like I was at least 21 years old. That was around the time I had my first kid. It's like watch your kids, talk to your kids, because it's like I was molested when I was young, me and my sisters and stuff. So it's like the only way that was able to happen is because like our parents and our grandparents, our uncles, our aunties wasn't watching us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like not having that conversation with us where it's like, yo, if this is happening, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not cool. So like what sis was saying about like having this conversation with your kids, it's never too early. Right. It's never too early. Like people rape babies all the time. Like it's never, if your kid is of the level that they can understand, like, hey, this is a monster, this is a good guy, then explain it to them like that. Like it's never too early to tell your kids about none of that, and watch your kids. To me, like I tell my guys all the time, like when we out, like I don't care about smoking around kids, drinking around kids, none of that. Because if the kids around us being watched, being smoked around, being drank around, they not being touched on. Like I don't play all that. Y'all go play off in the basement. Y'all go off in that room. None of that shit. Like watch your kids. That's the way I feel about it.
That
like,
curates that. That's curates that monster.
If you let them know what's going on, they're gonna be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta prepare your kids for everything in life. Even that people be so uncomfortable having these conversations with their kids. Like this is not real life. Like as far as I'm concerned, if you old enough for some stranger on the street to be trying to touch on you, you old enough to know that a stranger on the street trying to touch on you. Like I don't do that. They too young for this. They too young for that stuff. Like talk to your kids, watch your kids, fam.
That's
the
generational
God,
curse
sis,
right,
That's
right. So
many people
right, and that's true.
Right.
And I got right, and we got a brother that wanna add on to that too. And what I actually want to say too is I do understand exactly what you are saying, and the sister and the rest of the sisters on the panel. But we have to actually be extra careful, man. It's very critical out here today. It's very tragic, and social media is a major influence. But we have to actually tell them the part that's gonna put them in a position to clearly understand there's no other way out. You know, once we cultivate it and mold it and shape it and teach it to be forgiving, it's okay. It's just some bumps in the road. We have to get away from that. We have to realize that the people of the world today, in time before our time. See, nothing happened today that haven't happened. Go ahead, man.
I want to know the sisters on the panel, and I think Kenta the healer probably have answered this question before. How they're going to get their message to the next generation, so that we can start this generational curse reverse.
I'm gonna pass it over.
It'll be interesting to see what
I'm gonna pass it over to sis, and I'm most definitely gonna do that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let sis handle that. But what I do want to say though, this brother, hold on. I'm gonna give it to sis, but this brother here had something. You good?
Yeah.
Go ahead, my brother.
It's another thing I want to speak on the generational curses. How the generation I'm brought up in tend to have kids early, and let the mothers take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of kids are really raised by their grandparents. You know, the grandparents take on the responsibility. You know, they grandchild too young to take on the responsibility, help them with everything. But I got most of my friends, they was grew up by their grandparents. I mean, their parents was there, but
let me tell you something, brother. This sister gonna touch on that, but we're gonna go. I want you to touch on what that sister out there was saying, and then bring it on around to that. But what I want to let you know, further know, brother, this has been going on, brother.
I already know. I just want.
I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
You have to go way farther back, farther back. Our wisdom come from these people.
Yeah.
Our guidance come from these people. You know what I'm saying? What we need to focus on today is losing these people. Because for number one, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hurry up and get off this hill and go to this hill. I just want to say this real quickly. No problem. No, real quickly. This is a sister circle. LeJay ain't got no business speaking. But I want to say this here real quickly to let you know. Listen, I lost my grandmother. Inez Edwards was a root to grace and mercy. Hold on now.
I'm sorry, we're gonna bring her name.
This is something different that we're speaking about. She was a root to grace and mercy. I lost Mary D. Mary D was a connection to the life outside of grace and mercy when you out here straddling the fence. Then I roll over in the same sequence. I lose Jean. A person had become a friend of mine. That was another source and a connection to something greater than you and I. When you talk about stuff like that, we need those people. Once those people pass away, we're in danger. We're in seriously danger. Don't never X those people out. Please don't. Because those people are our roots. And once we understand those people and our roots, we can get to what we need to get to. And that's why this sister circle is important. Go ahead, my sister. I apologize. I didn't mean to take too much time.
So I feel like, to answer your question, Sean, I feel like it starts with healing myself first. So what I want people to understand is that me understanding that I had a certain healing power came from me healing myself. And so I don't feel like, oh, I go and talk to a person or touch them and, oh, they're healed. No, me being able to tell my story of how I was able to heal myself will better help them understand that, you know, they can also do the same thing. So I'm just here to drop gems, honestly. It takes me back to me not introducing myself as the Empress, me understanding that I was very much sitting in princess energy and I had got caught in an illusion. When I started to heal, I understood that in order for me to be able to get the message across, I had to heal my soul, but I also had to make sure that this here human form was together as well. So I started to make sure that I started to eat healthy. I stopped eating meat, right? I made sure that I started to walk. I started to create new healthy patterns for myself. But that started with self-healing. Everybody always asks me how I lost weight. It wasn't just because, oh yeah, I decided to get up and I wanted to be the cutest girl in the world. Like, no, it came with understanding that I came here to serve a higher purpose. So in order for me to be able to serve that purpose, I have to be able to take care of this human form. So I'm going to make sure that I'm healthy. So the things that I feed my soul with, because I'm not feeding this here body, I'm feeding my soul. I have to be mindful of that. So I then realized that, okay, yeah, I started to eat healthy. Yeah, I started to do the right things, but I also started to get caught in an illusion because my middle sister, my other older sister had came to me and said to me, because I would always say, like, I don't care about what people think. I'm big on self-love. And she would always say to me, like, but you still check your likes. And then that stuck with me. And I said, damn, like I'm really getting caught up in this illusion. Like I didn't start to eat healthy and I didn't start to lose weight because I cared about what if people thought I was cute or not. And I found myself uploading pictures, wanting to be around to be liked. And then I realized, like, first of all, everybody's not gonna like you. And be okay with that. Be okay with that. Be okay with that. And so I decided like it's time for me to go into complete hermit mode. So I stopped just popping out like I usually would. I understood that, one, I couldn't be dropping gems. I couldn't be the blind leading the blind. I couldn't be the girl talking about how you have to heal, but I wasn't doing everything everything I could within me to continue to heal. I was still smoking cigarettes or smoking weed. Still to this day, understand it's an everyday process. Still using those as ways to cope, not actually addressing my emotions, and actually healing and growing to be the best version of me. Again, this is an everyday process. Okay. But with all of that, I understood that, in order for me to really be able to get the message across that the divine would like me to, I have to, I can't call myself the healer, but I'm not actually stopping the cigarettes and stopping the weed and understanding that I have the ability to be okay. I'm literally not stopping because I'm becoming a slave to this shit. I'm going off of fear and I'm not going off of faith. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at. Again, I was a girl at the altar nodding off. How did I get her? I stopped taking the pill. So I have the ability to stop. I'm choosing to be a slave to this shit. So I have a choice. So again, I'm not trying to be the girl out here leading people in the wrong direction. I want people to understand that you can process through your emotions. You can't heal through that without weed, without cigarettes. But please understand, you could smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to smoke it.
I just have, Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Kente. I am the producer of the show, and we get a lot of inquiries about your healing experience. So thank you for that.
Okay. You want to add on to
did you want to go in order or okay?
You want to add on to this?
Well, it was a question. Right. I wanted to answer the question, and I wanted to acknowledge a few things said. Well, firstly, congratulations on your healing and where you've come, both of you all. And I myself, with all of everybody on this world has a vice, it's as above, so below. So what's going on, on the main stage, that is the, Western society, what we see on TV, what we see on the media, it's all a stage. And it's all because we could talk about the spirituality of it, and people want to say they believe in spirit, but they be scared of it.
Okay.
They be scared. How do you know that you are going to die? You're going to die one day, and your spirit is not going to animate this body that you're walking around in, and you are afraid of where it's going to go after that. You are afraid of that because you don't know what that is. And that feeling alone can cause somebody to go insane. And a lot of us struggle with these mental health issues, and I put quotations around that because a mental health issue, you can say it's a chemical imbalance, which it is.
Come on, preach.
A mental health issue is a chemical imbalance, but you feel it so spiritually because you are a spiritual being, but your body is affected by this experience because you are the physical manifestation of what's going on in spirit right now. So if you are feeding your body these things that are throwing off your chemical balances, how can you be surprised about your mental health? That's what I had to ask myself. I can't be surprised that I'm sitting here anxious about stuff. I can't be surprised that I'm depressed if I'm not feeding my body what it deserves. If I'm not feeding my soul what it deserves. And it was a question of how we are going to relate this to the next generation. And then it was also brought up about how, because the young man who asked the question said that in his generation, he sees that a lot of his peers are raised by another family member in the household because of the direct disconnection with their mother line. And he says, my generation, I'm younger than him. I'm 20 years old. And I got to this point because my life was not easy. And it wasn't the hardest either. It wasn't the hardest because there are trials and tribulations the next person will go through that you can't even imagine. And where I am at today is because I grew up in a household. I had both my parents. I had my mother and my father line. But those lines, even if they are attached, it doesn't guarantee that the child ain't gonna receive no pain. It don't guarantee that. It don't guarantee nothing. Just them being there, just the active parent, you provide financially. That's what you're supposed to do. I ain't gonna congratulate you for that.
Okay.
But what people need to be congratulated for is because what's not happening is a mother line that is nurturing, a mother line that is healing. We are not instilling that into our parent-child connection, because when you think of God, don't you think of yourself as a child of it? You think of yourself as a child of God, and the parent, I don't care if you put a masculine father or feminine mother behind your concept of God. It is a parent. And all a parent is a line of trust. It's a line of trust. You rely on your parent for everything when you don't have it. You rely on your parent for your wisdom when you know nothing. You rely on your parents for your resources when you have nothing. So if these lines are toxic by their experiences because those people have not healed, then you leave the child at a disadvantage. And how we can heal that disadvantage is by healing. Everybody knows it's about healing yourself. But where you can start in healing yourself is, I know that I have myself struggle with how I want life to be easy. I'm thirsty for it to be easy. I'm thirsty for it to be easy, but we can't be so thirsty for it to be easy that we stop challenging ourselves. Because you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out on your blessings if you stationary. You cannot be stationary. And where Black people are right now, we are stationary because we are reactionary and we are not proactionary.
Thank you.
Okay, give a round of applause for some chill. Sis, you want to add on to that?
Yes, I would like to say, so the story I created when it comes to healing, going forward, when you go forward, you have to go back to know where you started. So to piggyback off what the goddess said over here, we have to heal through our mothers and our fathers because they set the tone and the momentum of our character on who we are. To say one thing is to say that I'm very proud of anybody who's overcame any type of addiction, because to understand addiction is to understand you're not addicted to drugs, you're addicted to trauma. And once you realize what your trauma is, you can heal that addiction. Because all the addiction is a coping mechanism to numb yourself from the experience that keeps happening in your head. That's why I said, so the biggest for myself, I'm always the student. Before I'm ever the teacher, because anytime I open my mouth, I'll open my mind to receive another part of me through everybody that's around me.
That's right. That's
so
right.
I always try to let people know, if you think I talk a lot, I listen twice as much.
That's right.
Because if you let people talk long enough, you hear who they are, you hear their intentions.
Absolutely.
Right.
But to go back to healing through our mothers not only set the tone for vibrations of our sexuality, our emotional security, how we love and who we love. Even with the father being in the home, we get all that from our mother. You know, so my healing process, the story I created for myself was to isolate myself. To really be by myself. A lot of people are not okay with being with their own thoughts because a lot of us suppress them. I used to suppress them and then get upset. And so one thing I had to learn is, so this is my water bottle. No matter how much water is in here, it's in my hand. I control this water bottle. So this guy right here can bump into me and I can hold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she can bump into me and I can spill it. With that being said, you gotta embrace and understand what's in here, not control. My son's father used to tell my son, control your emotions. I was like, no, we don't want him to control it. I want him to embrace it to understand them. Because everything is from emotions. That's all we are. We're emotions. So when it comes to that, like I said, I'm proud of anybody who's overcame any addiction, because I mean you've unlearned and relearned a new coping mechanism to get through your traumas. Everybody has traumas.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much fame you got. I don't care how poor you are. Everybody has traumas.
Every one of you.
You know, it's all on how you deal with them. And that's just the way we cope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sis. Anybody got want to? Hey, this brother here got something he want to say. Go ahead, my brother.
I just want to say how happy I am to hear this conversation from ladies of the ages 31, 29, and 20. Because like decades ago, decades ago, people would like talk and just talk about life and how they're doing this and doing that from a place of ignorance, not realizing the effect that their parents had on them. And then came the Freudian area of psychology where it was like, like it was the mother, it was the father, you know what I'm saying? Like parents, parental figures had this effect on our lives outside of like, you know what I'm saying, like penis envy and vagina envy and all that stuff. But you know what I'm saying? And then now, fast forward to today, where it's not just we're looking at our parental figures like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's more like we hold them to task. Like you still have the chance to do this, you still have the chance to do it. If you're not doing that, that's okay. I can grow beyond and past that. I can sell where you are. I can still love you where you are. Like understand you're still healing and growing, but still healing and growing myself, and understand that that's just not where you are. It's like the fact that people can find that in themselves nowadays shows that we are on the right track. Like I don't know if people track the movement of conversations, but like conversations have changed so much over the decades. It's like even the fight for Black power, you know what I'm saying? It's not even the same thing no more. Like we've done it, so now we have things to stand on, opposed to saying like we've got these ideals, like we've got a foundation. So it's the same thing when it comes to like loving our kids now. We've got a foundation. We see the mistakes of the past, and we are learning from them. And I love that so much because as we learn and we grow, we are going to teach our children. So the generation after this and after this is going to be set up to be so well adjusted, fantastic. It ain't man. It's going to be such a beautiful world. And I'm just looking forward to it as long as we continue to keep growing and healing. Understanding that those who hurt us because they was hurt. And just because we hurt, don't mean we need to hurt nobody else. As long as we grow and learn for ourselves, we'll be on the right path, man.
Already, my brother. Go ahead. Since you want to, all right.
We all have a response, basically.
Go ahead and let it out. That's the whole purpose. Go ahead, my sister.
I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on not just where I've came from and where I'm at, but where my family came from and where we're at. I was the little girl who thought she knew everything. My sister can tell you, I never really wanted to listen to what anybody had to say. And that's why I feel like I'm just a teacher. I can't be the student. I just know it all. So even for me to be able to even look in my mirror was a really hard thing. My big sister said something that really stuck with me. Like I've always my whole life tried to control my emotions, because everything that I had experienced, I had, started to do pills because I didn't know how to cope with it. And then after I stopped, what happened was I was still trying to control my emotions. I did not allow myself to process through my emotions. I can say in the past 2 weeks, let's be clear, that I finally accepted and looked in my own mirror, because I'm big on looking in your own mirror, and accepted that you have to allow yourself to be the student too. And you have to understand that and be open to actually, learning. You don't know everything. Like you're only doing this because as a kid, you felt like nobody really listened to you and you felt like you knew nothing. And so that's why you're acting like this. It all stems back to the childhood things that you have to heal from. I'm just blessed to be able to say that once I started my spiritual awakening, my sister was the first person. My older sister was the first person who actually started going through her spiritual awakening. And let's be clear, we all thought she was crazy as hell, okay? Like, I thought she was crazy as shit.
Mama was nuts.
Like, so, and to see where we are now, to actually understand every way and everything and everything, like I understand everything finally. Is a blessing. I got to experience me and my two older sisters and my mom going through awakening and a healing, all healing at the same time. To watch my mom leave a toxic marriage, to watch my sister be able to not just stay to herself, but now, we talk every single day, every morning, like, we're actually like friends first. Like, yeah, we have built a strong sisterhood, but to see where we came from and where we are now, able to actually acknowledge what we had to heal through and allow our emotions to flow and be there for each other. Like, I'm mad grateful. Like, so to sit here and be able to actually experience listening to it, because I mean, she's 20, but baby, she got an old soul. Let me be clear. She got damn. So to be able to even sit here with two beautiful souls is everything to me, and to actually be able to sit here and actually take in what my sister is saying is, I'm processing my emotions at this very moment. I'm like, I don't want to cry. Like, I'm actually taking this in, like, and allowing my emotions to flow and not trying to control them is different for me. So every day is a learning experience, and I'm blessed that I'm able to be here. Nothing happens coincidental.
Nothing at all.
So for us to be here and be able to connect with each other is everything. So I look forward to it.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to touch on everything that was said. Not everything, but it's so funny how you said certain things. You said, well, a topic amongst a lot of us is look at where we're coming from and how nothing is a coincidence. I swear you can back it up with Levy and with my sister circle that I have outside of what's going on right here today. I have a sister circle, and every day they've asked me to give them a song or give them, just sing them something in the rising or in the morning. And the song I chose today was by Lila Ike, and the name of the song is "Look at Where I'm Coming From." And in the song it says, "Looking back at where the journey began, I really have to say that I'm strong." And we were talking about controlling emotions and how we tell, she tells her son not to control his emotions, and we try to tell ourselves not to control our emotions. And it's so funny because this is something that is so prevalent in my life. And when you try to control human nature, it never ends well, because what do you think separates us from your oppressor, whoever you may think it may be, or from the opposition, if you don't want to call them the oppressor, because I get that too. How do you think we are different from our opposition? It's because of the difference in our emotions and the difference how we feel and the difference of our experience. This is our experience. Nobody can relate to this but us. And I feel like when you try to control your nature as a person, that can lead you to be emotionally dead. And when it comes to emotions have no direction. You can't, I would say, when you lead, you're leading with what you know to be true. And you are using what you know to be true to forge a path for you to flow your emotions down. You have to direct your emotions, not control them. Dr. Layla Africa talked about the emotional interweb. Your emotions are connected together. So in your brain is protons and neutrons and electrons, and your brain is made up of synapses. And in these synapses host your emotions, host your human experience. And they're connected. So over here is anger, over here is happiness. And the energy will shift from over here to over here based off of a stimulus. And your task as somebody who is control of their actions and their words is to direct that emotion forward. How you direct your emotions forward is through your choices and your actions. I'm so mad I'm finna go clean up. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm finna go write something. You know, you gotta direct your emotions.
Yeah. I learned something today.
That's the energy.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Not even the question.
Go ahead, my brother. Speak what you got to say.
Piggyback off of that, with the emotions, there's a need for each one. That's why we have them, and that's why our ancestors venerated, the animals that they saw and related them to different emotions. But the difference is breath pacing. You can get mad and it can be righteous anger. But when you start seeing red and you black out, then you go into a different realm.
Woo! Preach, son.
Something can happen to you that you didn't intend to happen.
That's why a lot of people in the grave today. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You weren't in the right way of processing. So it's about the control of the breath, like she said. Get so mad that you want to clean something. It's time to clean house. It's time to take out the trash. That's that energy. Keep that same energy.
All right. To piggyback off that with somebody who had anger issues, I feel like it diminishes and disassociates the fact of the emotion. I understand in evolving that into another emotion, but the story I created for that's unhealthy. You can clean, but when you're angry, the first thought is not going to be to clean. Right. So you have to transmute that energy into what balances with that. And it's different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different like a thumbprint. For myself, I used to take a bat and go out to a tree that I could not harm, and just hit the tree over and over, releasing that until I got it out. Because anger is a misplaced emotion, because if you get so upset to where you black out, you're taking yourself to a traumatic response to where you're not understanding that emotion in the first place. All you're doing is suppressing it and ignoring it again. It's gonna come up again.
Yeah, that's where high blood pressure comes from.
You just sticking it down as far as it's gonna go. And in the next situation, you're gonna do it again. So I understand the analogy of transmuting energy to something positive, but that's not how it goes.
It's not.
Because if she comes and smack me on my shoulder, I'm gonna be upset. The first thing is gonna be, let me drink this water and open up this accountability book. It's not gonna be that. That's not realistic. Because my first response is gonna be out of emotion. Anger is one of those emotions. It's not gonna be, you didn't mean to do that, because we only can give people what we have.
Okay.
Well, and that goes back to the saying, like, well, she should have common sense. She don't know you to come and hit you.
Okay. But even if you gotta defend yourself, don't you have to do it with the utmost assertion of who you're defending yourself from, just so you don't?
No, because there's nobody else but you. Once you see something other than you, so before I judged, and I used to be a big gossiper, sometimes I still gossip, you know what I'm saying? Still learning and relearning. So I can't talk about, you cannot see what you already aren't, you know what I'm saying?
I wanted to point out, off of what you're saying, you said you went and took the bat and you hit it against a tree. And I want to say that you did direct your emotions, because that tree could have very well been a person based on what mood you was in.
Yes, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and it wasn't. And
I transmuted it and chose for it not to be.
Absolutely. And we ain't talking about being docile at all. We ain't talking about being docile at all. When you're met with an energy, you can match that energy, but you can match it with a whole different force if you want to.
That's true.
You can punish. Punishment is not irrighteous, or punishment is not wrong. And reciprocity and restitution is righteous, and you can have your righteous anger fueling that. And it's all about your direction, your attention. Anything conscious is intentional. Everybody want to add, what is a conscious pregnancy? What is a conscious birth? What is a conscious life? And it's just intentional.
A rock is conscious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
because it's still
right.
there.
Your approach.
It's a being.
Yeah.
This bottle of water is conscious because that water is moving.
Right.
Even as I'm not touching it, it's still moving.
Because it knows it's not trying to be something it's not.
It's not about the knowing, it's about the being.
Yeah.
So
because there's nothing to know, it's already to know that it's
do what is in nature to do.
But for what? For who? Your level of perception or mine?
It's not level, it's not single to any one person's level of perception.
Exactly, because everybody's level of perception is from their level of experience. That's like a thumbprint. Yep. That's why when people say common sense, they should have common sense, baby. Common sense is only the comment of the people that's in your motherfucking circle.
Yeah, because every stream of consciousness ain't on code.
Yeah,
you gotta have a code for yourself.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why people are like, oh, woke this, woke that. Everybody's conscious. Everybody's woke. It's about remembering who you are before the world told you who you didn't speak.
Come on now.
Even water hold memory.
Right. That's what they run tests on. So that tells you the data. How long, where come from. That's true. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sister, you go ahead and get out. Yeah, no. I know it's getting late. I can meet personally. No, you know me. I do sun up because I don't say good morning. No, I say good rise. I'm sun up. I rise. You know what I'm saying? Everything in me rise. Where I come from was rise. It's rise.
But even after you say that, it still don't matter. It's your intentions after that.
Right. Guess what my intentions is? To rise and deliver, because the seeds that already been dropped, add some rising, I'm fertilizing. They gonna grow. That don't mean you're bad seed because you fall on bad soil. You know what I'm saying? You still got a chance to grow. But like I say, there ain't no such thing as bad. That's the theology that we give it to us by the way. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So when you say bad,
that's not true. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Oh, you got a question.
Hold on.
Look. Fall on bad ground, and God said that in His Word.
Right.
So you have to be careful who you bring around you, who you let somebody feed in you. And you have to study the Word of God, because that's the only person and only Bible and only book that's going to help you get through anything through life.
Okay,
I got something to say. I got something to say. No, it's the sister circle.
Okay, hold on. Hey, listen. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know. She haven't. So what we finna do?
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. What we finna do?
The reason why people going through what they're going through
is
because there's a lot of demonic spirits going on around.
Right.
And you can be at somebody's house not knowing that they have a spirit in there and it'll jump off on you. So now you walking around with this attitude, you walking around with this mental issue, and don't even know that you have it on you.
Right. Okay. So this finna be a 2-minute drill. Sus, you already know.
Y'all
they got Kenny. Hold on, she finna get answered. Okay. Well, I want bro. He had his hand up. Okay, I want to go ahead and let him get his 2 minutes out real quick.
1 minute.
All right, so
1 minute.
Quick, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever it takes. To say this, glad to have somebody speaking from the Bible, just so I can say this one thing. When it all comes down to it, we are all birthed from energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. We are all from the original energy. On the molecular level, we are held together by negative, positive, and neutral, like electrical forces. And those are the only things that exist in life. No good or bad. There's negative, positive, and neutral. And whether or not something happens in your life, it is either a negative change, a positive change, or a neutral change.
Right.
As it comes to religion, God represents that positive force. The devil represents that negative force, and Jesus Christ represented that neutral force, which is why he always came to peace, like, hey, accept where they was at. When you go down to it, no matter what you believe in, where you come from, there's positive, negative, and neutral. And it is up to you to either keep those positive vibes going and vibrate at a wavelength that is going to increase the prosperity around you, or cause dissonance to the natural flow of things and fuck up whatever you got going around.
Okay.
Now, if you don't do that, then it is what it is. But
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
I'm gonna let sis wrap it up, and I'll go.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we
I was
can wrap it up.
We'll say
So
what we
at
gotta
the end
say.
of the day,
'Cause I don't wanna answer
Everybody
nothing else
get
I
your
say.
yeah, and also let everybody know exactly what you're doing. Wrap it up.
Right.
Hit the punchlines.
everybody
Yeah.
know
Let everybody know exactly what you're doing,
Right.
what you're working on. Also, what you're working on. You know,
Oh, yeah.
in the link.
So I just wanted to start off by saying that I respect all walks of life as far as your mindset and what is the tool that you use to exercise your spiritual body. Yet we cannot be one track minded and divisive to the point where if we cast down everybody else's books and their understanding, because at the end of the day, these are things that you have to a real knowledgeable person, and this is real, a real student can look at any piece of material, and if the Bible is up there, is this the Bible?
That's
No.
not the Bible.
Okay.
That's a historical book about.
I ain't reading the title, but even if the Bible was up here, I should be able to look at each and every single one of these books and get something out of it and apply it to my truth. I don't care if it's the Quran, the Bible, any book sitting in front of you. If you read it, you're supposed to be able to tap in. If you can't tap in, you're shutting yourself off. And that's nobody else's fault but yours.
Thank you.
Okay. You want to say something, sister?
I would say this, seeing that this is a sisterhood communion, kind of, sort of, you know, I respect all walks of life. The story I created as far as history means his story or her story. So I respect your story, ma'am, and I respect your story, sir. But that's not my story.
Okay.
And I will not accept or adapt to that.
Okay.
I have tattooed on my back from the Bible, the will of God won't take you from the grace of God, can't protect you. I also have 27:3 on the back of the Lord is my savior, my life, whom shall I fear? So the Bible, spiritual, when it comes down to your story is yours. I think that's the problem with sisterhood. Your generation is different from mine. So y'all have this ideology that everybody needs to, this needs to be. And I understand that and I respect God. Yes, true. But that's your story though. But that's your story. That's your story. At all. For you, and it's respected.
But see, people,
His word is up to interpretation.
no.
Okay, let me
Let me finish this out. Let me finish this out.
Okay, you want to
Because this is the issue. You're correct. Because what, just like this, correct. I'll let you speak, ma'am. Because you're an elder. Go ahead.
It's in the word of God, the whole truth. It's nothing like, okay, I'm gonna take verse Psalms 23 out and just put it on my body and just walk around with that because
you can't separate what's whole.
True.
You can't separate what's whole.
You cannot say, well, this book in the Quran is going to give you the word because you're going to confuse yourself.
So the only confusion is your confusion. Go ahead. Let me break this down. This is for woman to woman.
Hold on, we got
So
too many conversations. Let us
from
talk.
love or fear. That's it. All the books are saying the same thing.
No, it's not.
And that's the thing, and that's the
The
issue.
Quran, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. I want to stop. Hold on. Whoa. Listen. No, listen. It's not a debate. Listen, hold on. Listen to me. Listen. No, we're gonna speak truth.
That's your truth.
Hold on.
I'm my God. Me too. Yes, I'm my God. That God up there is your God. I'm my God.
Me too.
I'm my God. I create my reality.
Okay, listen. Let me say this here. Hold on.
All of this.
Hey,
That's
listen.
your truth. All I ask is that you respect mine. Because the only way. I'm still talking. Hold on.
I want to sum this up. Real quick. I want both of y'all to know this. This is the truth. If you actually read the Quran and actually read the Bible, the Quran don't really stay different like that. It really actually.
How come somebody to pray to Allah and get their
Listen. This is the truth. The Quran was before. The Quran was the first.
We wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, and that go way back. Yeah. Right. That's true. Right, but listen. Actually, Actually, okay, you're right. So, right, but listen, the Quran. Hold on, listen. No, this is good. No, nobody. No, this is good. No, this is good because you know why this is good. It's not a difference to be like.
It's not us. It's not you against me. It's us versus the issue. That's
right.
It.
That's it. And that gonna bring that.
You're part of the solution. That's it.
And that gonna bring. And like I said earlier, the reason why we voting is because we're part of this system. So now that we're a part of this issue, we have to have these type of discussions to be able to come to some type of understanding about this issue.
The issue is individuality, though, because we want everybody to be the same.
But we're not. We're not.
Everybody
we're not.
And we're not supposed to because we're like thumbprints.
That's right.
Fingerprints.
And you all different.
We're like eyelashes. Not even your 79 eyelashes on your eye are the same.
Because if you go right back,
boundaries.
The Moors actually switched to Christianity as well.
Yeah.
And they don't preach that. But the Moors actually switched to Christianity. Actually enslaved. Actually had other truths. So, okay, we want to get into it now. So, only thing I want to say is to bring it together to let people know that it's not that it's a confusion. No, it's no. Listen, right? Hold on, ma'am, hold on. That you do that on Wendy Williams.
Okay.
You don't do that on Jay's brain chamber. This chopping here. This is great chopping because people need this type of chopping. And what professionals do in their pale-faced world, they'll tell you that's unprofessional, that's aggressive. No, that's right. Because two things I know for sure, and one for certain. Once it get to this point here, everybody gonna walk out of here with an understanding. That's for sure. Either one thing, I agree or I don't agree. We ain't gonna walk out here saying, "Oh, I just been convinced."
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah, because
it's gonna be something we're gonna have to think about. We're gonna have to talk about. Okay, so go ahead, sis. I apologize. We'll let sis. Hold on. I apologize, ma'am. This is not the Whitney Williams or Jada Kiss or whatever you do. This is Jay's brain chamber. Okay, you're helping out the show by being in the backfield. Thank you, ma'am. You don't have a question. Go ahead, sister. Finish what you got to say, and we'll get back what you can do. What you got to do later. Go ahead, ma'am.
So I'm gonna wrap it up with this.
Go ahead.
Like both of my sisters said, I respect every walk of life.
That's right.
Again, I am God in my own world. So I mean, that's neither here nor there. I really don't want to too much touch on that. I feel like you know what I'm saying. Everybody experiences their own experience. Mine is mine though. Nobody's gonna change that. So with that, I just want to say to you guys, I thank you so much for all the gems that you have dropped that I was able to pick up. Not only you all, but even everybody in the audience. I was able to pick up a lot of gems, like from all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all.
We love you,
again, I really was here tonight. I really, really wanted to pick up gems. So moving forward, what I'm going to do is continue to work on myself, take them gems and do what I got to do to continue to heal myself and continue to grow. So I thank all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. I love you, Shantae. Happy birthday. You are so beautiful. That's all I got to say.
Hey, that's what's up. I thank everybody for being here. But one thing I got to say before we get off the show, you and you will be right here. And we're going to get right back to that. We don't care what they talking about. We're going to get right back to that. Hey, listen. See, that's the conversation like men, and even in the women groups, need to have. We ain't got to be hating. We ain't finna go fight and kill each other, but it's our own, you know what I'm saying? And guess what? So many people need so many different things. Back then. Right.
To disagree is to need validation from somebody else outside of you. I walked in this room already knowing who I was and that I was learning who I am.
Right.
So, I mean, this is not the first conversation I've had like this, and it won't be the last. Because I embrace it because there is something to disagree with.
It's not.
So agree more with, okay, well, that's a different way to see it.
Right.